Hello everybody, Sweet Strategy back with another video. So today what we're going to be doing is Adrian and Josh, or Adrian versus Josh rather, G40, Axis and Allies, no bid. Yet again, no bid. You guessed it. Myself, Josh, on the Allies versus Adrian on the Axis. All right, without any further ado, let's get to it. Okay, for purchase, Adrian has purchased 2 infantry and 6 artillery, exactly 30 IPCs. France has already been put on the battle board here in the corner, just because an invasion of France is necessary, so I put them there when I set the game up. So now we're going to get right into the combat move. So for combat, what we have is into C-Zone 109, we have 3 subs, 3 fighters, 2 attack bombers, and a strategic bomber, all attacking the destroyer transport combo there. We got 2 subs, a battleship, and a fighter, attack bomber, and a strategic bomber attacking the fleet off the northwest coast. We have leaving Normandy and southern France alone. And we have an attack into Yugoslavia. We have 6 infantry, 7 infantry, 2 artillery, and a fighter going into there. And then attacking Paris will be, oh goodness, what is that? Yeah, 7 infantry, 4 mechs, 3 artillery. You can go ahead and slide 3 infantry over to the 2 line there, Adrian. And it looks like 6 tanks? Yeah, it looks like, and 6 tanks. All right, yeah, so it should be handed victories everywhere he's attacked. Very, very good odds for him. All right, so this is how the board looks now before rolling. All right, and this is how it looks now. So he wiped out everything here and only took a hit on the battleship, so that hurt. He took out this. I got no hit back. Also hurt. I mean, I was only rolling a destroyer too, so that's to be expected. He took Yugoslavia handedly, losing 2 guys there, and he took France handedly as well, losing his 4 infantry, or no, 7. 7. Losing 7 infantry, losing nothing important, nothing expensive, I should say, just losing the 7 infantry. So it's a pretty good, strong round for Germany. We move into the non-combat now. All right, so for non-combats, every plane that can land, every plane that was involved out here had to land there. And the other ones that could land here landed here. A general push to the east. Moved 1 guy into Bulgaria. Activated those 4 guys, so he has that. Also the same idea in Finland, so there's 7 guys there because 3 moved over, plus the 4 there is 7. Did something interesting. Actually, your transport has to come back here. Because you moved. Oh, did you choose not to? Oh, where are they?
Germany.
Oh, okay, so the guys from Denmark have moved into Germany, so there's 4 there instead of just 2, and that's the purchase placed. That makes sense. Everything else sits tight, and then the cheeky landing of a fighter in southern Italy, so that on the British turn there's a bit more bolstered defense for the battleship there. Making perfect sense, and that is it. So for income collected, Germany's sitting at 39. They've gone up 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that brings them from 30 to 39. They took the 19 IPCs that France had. That brings them to 58. And then they have a bonus of 5 and 5, bringing them to 68. 68 IPCs to the German coffers, and we move into the next nation. Russia, round 1, coming in to the game in this version with 37 IPCs, with which we are going to purchase 3 plus 8 is 11 infantry and a mechanized infantry for 37 IPCs. Now, Russia is not at war in this version. As you veterans of the game will know, they're not at war yet because it's 1940. They're not allowed to attack the European side until it's round 4, or they themselves get attacked first. And they're also neutral with the Japanese, and there's a penalty concerning Mongolia if I attack him bordering Mongolia or if he attacks me bordering Mongolia. So for my turn, I'm deciding to stay neutral with Japan. I don't want any of the smoke over here. I'd rather just bolster up over here. So we move right into the non-combat. For non-combats, everyone in and around Leningrad has gone into Leningrad, and when you do that, it creates a stack of 16 infantry, the remaining artillery, the 2 anti-aircraft guns, and the artillery and infantry that were in Russia have pushed forward into Bryansk. Everyone in and around Western Ukraine that could go in has gone in, creating a stack of 8 infantry there. 2 guys come up from the Caucasus, and I made an illegal move here. These guys can't make it that far. They have gone 1, 2 from Russia into Stalingrad, and the guys from, you know what? They can all just go. They'll all go to they'll all go to Ukraine. That's maybe just a better move. Maybe I like that move better. Yeah, they all go to Ukraine. Okay, and then over here, the long, slow march on the trains west. That is really it, aside from the cruiser stepping 1 out, which will stop. If he is to declare war on turn 2, he can't offload in Russian territory with that transport. That's nice. The sub there stays put. That sub stays put. And all my planes are just staying in Russia for now. I will actually move up the anti-aircraft guns, though, closer to the front. All right, so we place our troops then, in that case, bringing 3 guys to Ukraine, 8 infantry to Russia, and 1 mechanized infantry to Volgograd or Stalingrad, whichever you prefer. Now, we end our turn with no territories changing hands and no bonus because we're not at war. This will bring us into the next nation. Japan, round 1. Japan comes in with 26 IPCs, and for purchase, Adrian is grabbing himself 3 transports. They cost 21 IPCs, leaving him 5 left over in the bank. Now, it is the political phase. Something I haven't really talked about much on the channel before, but you're supposed to do a political phase at the start of the game, and this is where you declare war or remain status quo. And Adrian will be declaring war. He declares war eternal on the UK, ANZAC, and the USA. All right, but not on Russia. All right, great. Okay, so war is declared. So that brings us into the combat move. We'll set this right here. And so this is how it all looks now. And this is how it all looks now. So the J1 that Adrian loves and cherishes so much kind of looks like this. The cruiser comes down from 20, going 1, 2, followed up with 2 strategic bombers to take out this British battleship right here. 2 guys from Siam going to French Indochina. He does not care about the 10 IPC bonus that Japan could have at all. He just wants to go balls to the walls right now, just full metal, heavy metal here. So of course the most strategic thing to do is to go ahead and grab the Philippines. So he takes 2 transports to do that. He's got 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank, and he's also grabbed himself a couple fighters and attack bomber to support that invasion. In order to land there safely, you got to take out this destroyer and submarine. So he's got a sub-destroyer, battleship, and 2 fighters and attack to take care of that. These guys sit tight, those guys sit tight. He's even got quite a bit of air power that sits tight. We got a walk in here, a walk in here. We got the 3 infantry and 1 artillery from Kiangsi have slid into what I believe is Hunan. And then we have 3 infantry and 1 artillery sliding into the 4 Chinese guys in Yunnan. Supported here by a fighter and attack bomber, because that's all that can reach. Supported here by, looks like 3 fighters and attack bomber. And did I cover all the bases? I believe I covered all the bases for combat. There's still more moves to come in non-combat. So that's it for combat. We will roll those out and be back with the result. Okay, so for combats, knocked out the battleship, losing his cruiser, took the Philippines, losing 2 infantry doing it, just took a hit on the battleship on that, took Hong Kong, lost 1 guy, took Yunnan, lost 1 guy, took Hunan, lost no guys, and these were walk-ins. I think that was actually it for combats, right? It always feels like it's more, but I think the more come later, really. But yeah, that was it for round 1 Japan combats. That moves us into the non-combat phase. All right, for non-combat, all planes have landed. Well, not all, but a bunch have landed here. Consolidation of troops here. A few guys moved there. These guys are already here. all the carriers have moved here, caught a bunch of stuff, so now we have a very strong force already threatening the money aisles, so that's not such a great thing for me, but it's just a typical start of the game, so we are going to be ready for it one way or another eventually. Left some ships up there as well. I guess he has to leave something there. He's going to have to protect his purchase. Ignore this. That's just what will be my purchase, I guess. You can just go ahead and place your purchase, Adrian, because we're going to move on to America right away here. Yeah, I think that's not really all that much to discuss. Japan just kicked off the game with a bang, but it has a lot more ground to take yet if it wants victory. So, Japan ending its turn at 37 IPCs, right alongside Russia there on the IPC tracker, but it kept 5 IPCs. We got to remember that. So it has 42 IPCs in its coffers, and we move on to the next nation. USA round 1, coming in with 52 IPCs. It's a good big bunch. So what we are going to be purchasing here for ourselves is 2 carriers, 2 transports, and a sub. That equals exactly 52 if my math is correct. The thing is even though we're at war on both the Pacific and the, oh geez, don't mind the gimbal, just spazzed out on me a sec there. The thing is we don't really have any combats that we could probably even hope to do. So we're just going to have to build and non-combat our way to being in a better position than we are now. So let's get right into the non-combat phase. So for this side of the board, nothing too fancy, but my common response to a J1 is to just snag Brazil. It's kind of tough to do if they don't do the J1 because you want to get moving as quick as you can. But once your neutrality is violated, you're immediately allowed to go to other neutral nations, like this pro-allied one, and take them. So now's a good time to do it. I took it. I gained 3 infantry. Went and snatched with that artillery in this. So that's done. Nothing else here has moved other than the bomber has left and moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and landed there. The whole fleet has come down, as well as then infantry and artillery from there. So it's all amalgamated here now. It is a battleship, 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, a sub, and there's also 2 fighters on Hawaii as well. And there's, yeah, anyway, just this, Task Force Pacific is up and running. So we will just place the purchase and collect our income. Over on this side, transport and carrier have been placed. They're supported by those 2 fighters. They're on an airbase, which is the same as being on the carrier when you do the math. And on this side, placing the sub, transport, and carrier. The planes for this carrier are actually on Hawaii. Not the same, but the carrier's safe, so it'll scoop up next turn to go get them. And that is it. So we've moved up to 52 IPCs because we have a Brazil over there. And we have 20 IPCs in bonus, bringing America's turn 2 purchasing power to 72 IPCs. We'll get Adrian to write that down, and we will slide into the next nation. China, round 1, coming in with 12 IPCs, with which we will purchase 4 infantry. The obvious and only purchase that we really can do. So that brings us right into the combat move. So for combat, I just slipped the red chip out from underneath this guy, and we'll bring the fighter in, because I just want 5 infantry going in, and I'm too lazy to turn that into a green, a gray with a guy on top. So everyone knows it's 5 infantry attacking these 2 infantry and 1 artillery. We'll roll that out and see how that ends up. And that's how she went. Those 5 infantry turned to 4 infantry. We only lost 1 taking that. I thought it could be way worse, so this is actually pretty good. Quite happy with that. So we will do our non-combats and place our purchase. And this is how it ends up. We have these 2 guys have moved down. 1 guy and 2 guys here have moved in. Plus the 4 purchased is 7, sitting on top of the guy that stayed behind. So there's 8 infantry here, and the fighter has landed there. And 4 infantry in Yunnan. Counting it up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 territories, plus our bonus of 6 for owning the whole road. Brings us to 15 IPCs. And now we can slide into the next nation. UK, round 1, coming in on the Europe side with 28 IPCs and a purchase of 1 transport, 1 destroyer, 1 infantry, 1 fighter. And on the Pacific side with 5 infantry worth $15, but they have 17 IPCs to start, so we keep 2 IPCs. Let's get right into the combat move. Oh, it's doing it again here. Combat move time. For combat, we have this destroyer coming 1, 2, 3, followed up by the fighter from Scotland and the cruiser from 110. So that would be a cruiser, a fighter, and a destroyer attacking 3 subs. And then we got the Taranto raid. Of course, you bring the 2 fighters and the bomber coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 2 fighters must land on the carrier. And the fighter from here goes 1, 2. The fighter from Gibraltar comes 1, 2, 3, attacking this destroyer, as well as this cruiser moving 1, 2, 3, attacking the destroyer with that fighter. So this is all a real big mess here, but that's how that fight looks. This is a transport that stayed. And yeah, so going into Taranto, you end up having a destroyer, a cruiser, a carrier, attack bomber, a strat bomber, and 3 fighters attacking a cruiser, battleship, and highly likely scrambling planes. Correct? Yes. I just got the nod of affirmation from Adrian. And yeah, over here, I don't think that there's any combats that I'm liking here, so there isn't going to be any combats here. This will all be the realm of non-combat over here. All right, we will roll these out and see how they end up. So we had a bit of a disaster here. The disaster is that I rolled very statistically here, and I got 3 hits. And then Adrian rolled all 5 of his dice and got 5 hits. So I shook my head and just took the losses because that's the game. So then I proceeded to roll my remaining dice. I got statistical and got another 3 hits. And then he got another 3 hits. So Adrian just popped off 7 hits nonchalantly here, leaving only my strat bomber alive. You'd like to end up with more here, but I'm happy his battleship, cruiser, and transport are gone. We would just like to have ended up with a little bit more of our own stuff, but it is what it is. We took out the 3 subs. They managed to kill our cruiser. We, of course, had to take the cruiser as a hit rather than the destroyer so that we could keep hunting the subs off of our convoy zone there. And we took this one at least handedly. We didn't lose a fighter or cruiser here, so that was at least nice. Okay, that brings us right into the non-combat move. For non-combat, we're just going to keep that transport safe. There's no real place I can bring it where it will stay alive, and that's not what we want. Same with the battleship. We come 1, 2, 3 away from German bombers. That'd be good. Landing planes here. So 2 guys from Alexandria and went and snatched Greece. So Greece is ours. We go up 2 for that. Took the guy from West India with the transport, 1, 2, landed in Persia. Persia's ours as well. That money does go to the west side because it's left of this line. It's left of West India. And then we kind of just funneled everything we could into Egypt. Those guys sit tight. The Malayan guys sit tight. Here's our purchase of 5 guys, by the way. It's about to go under. The guys in Burma and the plane have gone into Calcutta. It's just that he's declared war so early and he has so much agency that we tuck tail. We tuck tail and we run. So that's what we're doing. Oh, 1 sec here. There we go. Got my zoom figured out. Okay, so with that all being said, we will place the purchase there, bringing that to 13 infantry and 1 artillery, so already quite the defensible position that we're in. The transport that we purchased goes down here. The fighter and infantry purchase goes here. Oh shoot, and I haven't done it yet, but everything in Scotland moves down and the fighter landed there. I'll clean that all up right away off camera. And then the destroyer that we purchased goes there. So that is that on this side. 32 IPCs going to Britain on this side of the board. And plus their bonus of having all their original territory, again, just on this side of the board, brings them to 37 IPCs here. And over here, we're sitting at just 14 IPCs, but we kept 2. So 16 IPCs on this side. All right, with that being said and done, and of course, off camera, I will scooch the Scottish people down, but it's just time for us to move on to the next nation. Italy, round 1, coming in with 10 IPCs, purchasing for themselves amongst the dice, 1 fighter. Okay, there might be the odd combat here for Adrian, so let's set up here and move into the combat phase. So for combats, what we have is the cruiser moving over here with the transport, taking 2 guys. or rather 1 infantry and 1 tank from northern Italy, offloading them into Greece, and the 2 infantry and tank from Albania move into Greece, and the bomber joins as well. And we got the sub and destroyer slamming into the cruiser in Sea Zone 96 there. Further down on the African continent, we have one guy coming off of Tobruk into Alexandria, just a walk-in from Kenya into Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, another walk-in, Italian Somaliland into Kenya. I believe these are, I believe those are the fights, right? Okay, we will roll those out. Quick mention as well, we got 2 infantry and 2 artillery going into southern France. That's right. All right, okay, now we roll them all out. All right, so France has fallen as it usually does. Walk in here, walk in here, walk in here. The sub actually got the sneak attack, so Adrian's probably kicking himself that he didn't send the destroyer after this transport. He was hemming and hawing about it, like, oh, I want to kill this transport, but no, he wanted to commit to the cruiser. So I'm kind of cackling about that. But then once again, everyone, once again, historically accurate Greeks. I freaking love it. I love it. He wiped out these 6 guys. Well, there are only 2 now, but these 6 guys wiped out 3 infantry and 2 tanks, and now there's 2 of them left to show for it. Very nice. So, and then of course we have these walk-ins here. So we go to the non-combat move now. For the non-combats, 2 infantry have split off and gone to northern Italy, leaving 3 there. The purchase of the fighter has been placed. The bomber has landed there. The guys from Libya have moved to Tobruk. Everyone from Tobruk has moved to Alexandria. The Ethiopians have moved to Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, and the Italian Somaliland has now become Kenyan. He is here. I think that's actually it. It's not a very big nation. Not a whole lot to cover. That is it. So they have gone up 1, 2. We got to put some chips on. Got to put some chips here. You've gone up 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. You should be at 15 with no bonuses. 15 IPCs for the Italians. That brings us to the next nation. ANZAC coming in with 10 IPCs. We'll be purchasing for ourselves a cute little destroyer here. So we keep $2, and we... Yeah, I'm not seeing any combats here at all that I like. I mean, we have this guy here. He's going to hold the fort down with those 3. So there's a little bastion of 4 infantry keeping Singapore in check there. And we have the 2 guys here that obviously are not going to break out in either direction. They're just going to hold the fort down in Cairo. So that moves us right into the non-combats. So we're just going to slide these 2 guys up here and bring our ships like this. That transport has actually gone 1, 2 and taken this guy as well. And then these planes as well. So just holding at Queensland and placing our purchase here like so. And I'll chip all this up off camera, but that pretty much sets that in stone. We have all of our original territories plus Malaya, so we get a bonus of 5 IPCs, bringing us from 10 to 15, plus the 2 we kept is 17 IPCs. And we'll slide into the final nation. France, round 1, coming in with 0 IPCs and just a few small combats to do. Oh, one thing we forgot is to roll a convoy dice for this. Let's do that real quick here, shall we? What do we got? No, he keeps the full 15 IPCs as Italy. That's all right. That is fine. We will move into the combat phase now. Okay, well, that's just some of the worst rolls I've ever had. I moved the cruiser and fighter here and lost the cruiser, landed the fighter, and I moved the destroyer and cruiser here against his sub and destroyer. Lost those as well. At least took out his sub. So just terrible. I mean, I lost 12 IPCs here and another 12 plus another 18 IPCs here. So what is that? 12 plus 18? No, it's 30. 20. 12 plus, it's like 30 total just for him to lose a sub. I mean, that's all he lost. Terrible. Terrible rolling. All right, we move to the non-combat, which is actually really quick. You just bring this guy like that, these guys here like this, like that. Those guys they just sit there. We're not going to try and attack there or anything either. It's too late anyways because we rolled. And then, of course, this comes 1, 2 up into there, and there are no units on this side of the board to play with. So that ends round 1, bringing us to the next nation. Germany, round 2, coming in with Is it 66 IPCs? No. It's 68. 68 IPCs, but you're keeping 2, right? Yeah. 68 IPCs. And so the purchase is going to be 1 sub and 10 tanks, costing, that's 66 IPCs. Yeah, 66 IPCs of 68. So keeping 2 IPCs, that's the purchase. We get right into, oh, and I guess actually first we have to do politics. Any new declarations of war? No. None? Okay, all right. So just right into the combat move. So for combats, we have a full push into Greece here. 2 infantry going in, and looks like some fighters, TAC bombers, strat bombers. I don't even care to count it. And then we also have one of the TAC bombers sinking this British transport. And over here we have a sub has left C-zone, C-zone 111 and moved to C-zone 109 with a fighter and attack bomber to destroy the destroyer. So we will probably say goodbye to that destroyer. And we have 3 artillery, 2 fighters, and 3 artillery, 2 fighters, and attack bombers. Is that what I'm looking at? Going into Normandy? Okay, getting the nod there. I think that's it, really. Just, is that 3 fights? 4. If you count the transport getting sunk, it's 4. So 4 combats. All right, we're gonna roll those out. I guess I have to decide if I want to scramble here. Yeah, I'm gonna scramble there. All right, we're gonna scramble, and that'll be that. All right. Okay, so predictably losing the transport, predictably losing the guys in Greece, and taking out a guy. Really good hits back. The French guys got wiped out round 1, but they got 2 hits back as they did. So that 3 stack of artillery is only down to 1. And this destroyer battle it couldn't have gone better. I mean, he missed the sub, he missed the fighter, he missed the TAC bomber, and then I think it also was just a blunder on his part. I think he totally forgot I could scramble into that C-zone. And so, yeah, I was, but he played honorably and just allowed it to happen. So he suffered the loss of a sub, a fighter, and a TAC bomber there, and I lost nothing. So that's a huge win on the British side there. So that's how those fights ended up. We will move into the non-combat move now. For non-combats, let's see what we got. We have all the planes in the Mediterranean that were fighting in and around Greece and around there have all landed in southern Italy. We have the tanks, the 6 tanks and 4 mech from Paris or France have stepped through that tiny little border into northern Italy, and then from there into Yugoslavia. And just everything else has just moved east. So we have all this stack of guys that was in Yugoslavia has moved into, is that Romania? And then the purchase from the first round has moved into Poland. We got 3 tanks still chilling down there in Czechoslovakia, Hungary, I believe if that's what that is. The battleship has moved to C-Zone 112 with the cruiser, transport, and sub. The anti-aircraft gun has moved to Paris. So I believe that is it, actually. The guys in Finland have sat tight, obviously. They are just ready for when everything... Oh, what am I trying to say? Ready for when the game really opens up. Okay, so with that being done, I'll get Adrian to place his purchase, and we will quickly count up what we have, or what Germany has for income. Okay, Germany sitting at 43 on the board, plus 5 for no war with Russia, plus 5 for Norway, Denmark, Sweden, shenanigans, brings them to 53 IPCs, but they kept 2, so 55 IPCs, and we move into the next nation. Russia, round 2, coming in with 37 IPCs, and we are going to buy for ourselves 9 infantry and a fighter. That's exactly 37 IPCs, so we move. Again, we're still not at war, and we're not going to declare war on Japan. So I'm going to keep my phone set right here, and we're going to move right into the non-combats. So a little bit of troop movement here. Everyone from Leningrad has come down. So we got the 16 infantry, 2 anti-aircraft guns, and 1 artillery. We have everybody pushing up into Western Ukraine. So there are now 12 infantry, 2 artillery, and 2 anti-aircraft guns there. There are 8 infantry in Bryansk, 2 infantry from Rostov into Ukraine, 3 tanks, and... Oh, wrong. lying about this. Oh, I'm trying to get away with absolute shenanigans here. It's actually 3 mechs and 2 tanks have slipped down to the Caucasus, and all the planes have moved into Volgograd. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Oh, and then of course the long, slow march west from the Far Eastern troops. Again, and the submarine has moved into that convoy. We're expecting around 3 invasions, and he has no destroyer to get rid of this. So as soon as he declares war, we will get that convoy off. That will be good, if we can get it, that is. But that is really all there is to talk about Russia's second turn, so we're going to slip right into the next nation. Japan, round 2. They are coming in with 42 IPCs exactly. 42 IPCs exactly. This is what I like to call the Adrian Special. I'm sure a lot of people play it, but I always seem to come up against it when I'm playing against Adrian, so I call it the Adrian Special. For the purchase of 42 IPCs, going ahead and purchasing one of each facility, the minor industrial complex, and the one of each base, likely going to French Indochina there. All right, so all war has been declared for Japan. So yeah, there's no politics to do for Japan. So they just get right into the combat move. Very quick side note, I never placed my Russian purchase. 3 infantry here, 6 infantry there, and then the fighter here. Okay. All right, for combats, we got, there's something else you want to do? Oh yeah, get the battleship in there for offshore, of course. Let's go top down. We got a walk-in, and then he had 3 infantry and an artillery here, plus 6 fighters and 6 TAC bombers, slamming into the 4 infantry in Yunnan. And then his 1 transport has, I think it's gone 1, 2, 3. Is that what it did here? Like it went 1 to Palau, 2, 3, and offloaded the Palawan boy into Borneo. And then the other 2 transports picked up an amalgamation of other guys, this one I think went 1, 2, 3, and then whatever. It all ended up being 1 artillery, 1 tank, and 2 infantry coming here with the 2 strat bombers, 1 fighter, 1 tactical bomber, and a battleship for offshore bombardment. That will conclude the combat move for Japan's second round. We will roll these out and be back with the result. So the walk-ins happened, and then here, complete stomp, no hits back from the Chinese, so all 4 land units remain. Over here, absolute insanity. I mean, Adrian rolled all of his dice, got a whack load of hits, way more than 4. And then I rolled my 4, got my 3 infantry, my 3 British infantry, my 1 Australian infantry. They all rolled back, and 4 hits in a row. So brutal stuff. So Adrian has opted to lose a fighter to keep the tank to take Malaya. And over here, he rolled all these dice and only got 4 hits, just got 4 hits. And then I rolled back and got no hits. So super high hits on this fight, almost no hits over here. These are all walk-ins. That's taken. All right, we move into the non-combat. Oh, something else to move yet? Right as I hit play, something else to move. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so for non-combat, we got a huge portion of fleet moving here, a blocker set up there, a purchase placed here with the naval base going to Hainan, and the minor industrial complex and the air base going to French Indochina. The planes all landing in French Indochina that are fighting in Asia, 3 infantry and an artillery being brought to bear there as well. Some of the fleet moving here. This transport has to stay here. These are moved into here as well. I think this is, I think I pretty much covered everything. And then of course, just all the stuff moving down. Because I've left the Far East, he's also leaving the Far East. So we're just totally at peace at that border. If there's any fighting between Russia and Japan, it'll probably happen later here. Okay, I think that is it. Have we moved you at all in the income tracker? I haven't. I know I haven't, but I do know that you are up 7. 8, 9, 10, 11 from last time. We'll count it up quick and then we'll move on. Okay, after some quick counting up, Japan is sitting at 47 on the board. Yep, 47 on the board with But the funny thing is we've been moving the German tracker to that position instead of the Japanese one. I don't even know where Germany's sitting right now properly. We'll deal with it at the end of Germany's turn. 47 on the board for Japan. They collect 47 IPCs and we move right into the next nation. USA, round 2. We have 72 IPCs with which we will be purchasing a bomber, 2 destroyers, 5 transports, and 3 infantry. Just taking a quick overview look of the board before starting my turn. I'm not seeing any serious combats that I want to do, so I think I'll be going right into the combat, into the non-combat move. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, straight to the non-combat. Okay, so we are, after just so much consideration, not even much, just after a little bit of consideration here, we are going to do this fight after all. So my sub is going 1, 2, and my bomber is going 1, 2, 3. We'll roll that out, and then we'll look at the non-combats that I've done. All right, we won that fight handedly. No hit back, so that's great. So my fleet has come down here, my extra transport has come down, so we got, what should be, oh, well, the transport doesn't come down without this. So we have 4 infantry and artillery and a mech there, and just the whole fleet, you know, the battleship, 2 carriers, 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and now just 1 sub rather than 2 have moved over there. Over here, the transport that I bought the previous round has moved 1, 2, 3 to come and collect these guys next round. And there's been no movement here other than that. So we will place our purchase of 2 destroyers and 5 transports and 3 infantry. And then the bomber will actually go to the west coast. This is the, if you're buying bombers, here's a pro tip to anybody playing G40 or G42. If you ever buy bombers as America and you haven't used up all of your 10 spaces here, you put them in Western United States. Bombers belong in Western United States. And if you're wondering why, from here, they have a wide range of places they can go. From here, they can land all the way down to Sydney. They can go the 1, 2, oh geez, I make it blurry every time I do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whichever way it works, or to Queensland at the very least. They can make it to Queensland. But not only that, bombers in Western United States can also go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can go all the way to either Queensland or London, all from the Western United States. So you have huge agency if you choose to put bombers in Western USA rather than Eastern. You can affect both sides of the map and you can decide as the game goes on where you want them to go. USA finishing its turn with 52 IPCs plus a 20 bonus, 72 IPCs to the American coffers, bringing us into the next nation. China, round 2, coming in with 15 IPCs with which we will purchase 5 infantry. That's all right, yeah, 5 times 3 is, yeah, 15. All right. Oh, just figuring out this gimbal. All right, so we got, there we go. So we got these here, and for combats, the only one's gonna be is slamming my 8 guys into his 3 infantry and 1 artillery. So we got 8 at 1 and 1 at 3 against his 4 at 2, and we will see how that result turns out. So terrible rolling for me. We got her done, but terrible rolling for me. Or rather, great rolling for Adrian. He gave me the immediate karma of these 4 guys, their first roll, getting 4 hits. Just 3 infantry and artillery, he threw all 4. I got 1 hit to start, and then he got 4. So anyways, at the end, he ended up killing 6 of my guys. Not a great trade-off for me. Not a great trade-off at all. So now comes the hefty decision of where do we make our stand? Do we make it in Szechuan and die? I think we make our stand in Szechuan and die. That's, I think, just the right move. All right. Make the move in Szechuan. That's right. That's what we've committed to, so that's what we're doing. All right. That will bring China 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 territories with the Burma Road. So 12 IPCs to China. At least for their next turn, they can purchase another 4 guys. So that's pretty cool. That ends China's round and brings us into the next nation. Britain, round 2, coming in on the European side with 37 IPCs, and on the Pacific side with 16 IPCs. So for the Pacific side, we're buying 5 infantry. Just leave that there, just a red chip for 5 infantry. And on the European side, much more interesting, much more fun, a carrier, 2 transports, an infantry, and an artillery. Okay, let's move right into the combat move. Okay, I think I have it all set here. We have the transport that was here, taking 2 guys from Persia. I'm moving 1, 2, offloading them into Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. Likewise, the transport that was here with the 2 infantry that start in the Union of South Africa have come 1, 2, 3, thanks to that naval base. Offloading 4 infantry against Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, and 1 artillery has slipped out of Egypt and is attacking it as well, so that's him. From Egypt, we have 2 infantry, a mech, an artillery, and a tank attacking Alexandria, as well as the fighter and bomber combo. So they are going in. The destroyer has going 1, 2 against the Italian destroyer. We're going to see if the British or Italian destroyers are better. That is a straight up 1v1, completely 50-50 fight. Probably, well, I don't know, whatever, just we're doing it. We're doing it. No questions asked. I think those are actually the only fights, it's just these 3. So, and then, yeah, on this side of the board, there's really not that much to do or discuss here. Let me just fix this so it actually listens to me. Okay, yeah, so over here, we're just going to sit tight, really. That's why I bought 5 men. There's not really much we can do, so we're just going to sit there. But the epicenter of action is going to be over here. All right, we'll roll this out and see how it goes. I'm going to take a moment right now to apologize. We have a bit of tech upgrades. One of the bigger ones being a phone gimbal, and I'm still like learning how to use it. So forgive me if there's any absolute just jarring stuff happening with the camera where I'm panning it left and right and stuff. I promise I'll get better at this as time goes on. Let's discuss how that all went. This went perfectly. This went just completely historically. The British destroyer slamming into Italian destroyers with all of its better training and better equipment, and being British instead of Italianism equals that the British one lives and the Italian one sinks. Also, we won in Alexandria, but just barely in the land version, in the land portion of it, I should say. The air support helped a lot. We took him out, but all we have left is our tank. Here, he also fought valiantly. He knocked out 2 of our 4 infantry, so we only have 2 and 1 artillery left. And that is actually it. That's all to discuss for combats, so we'll just get right into the non-combat move. For non-combats and placement, we placed the 5 guys there, and then we have retreated our fleet 1, 2 spaces to here. This is a good spot, I think. And then we took Northwest Persia. This will allow on the Russian turn for them to blitz or just move 1, 2 to attack Iraq. They won't be if we are to get attacked over here around 3 and then Russia can join the war. This is kind of just something I came up with so that Russia can start grabbing this bonus ASAP. If you're wondering why I'm bothering taking a pro-allied territory worth nothing, that's why. It helps the overall war effort if Russia gets some extra coin. The destroyer that was here has come 1, 2, 3, and that one lived, so that's really nice. We have 2 ships, surface warships there. We placed our purchase of transport and carrier here, and transport and infantry and artillery in the Union of South Africa. That is that, collecting 29 IPCs over here and 7 over here, but we kept 1 buck over here. So it's 8 here and 29 here, and that brings us to the next nation. Italy, round 2, coming in with 15 IPCs, and they will be purchasing 2 subs and 1 infantry. There we go. Let's get into the combat move. So actually an absolute slew of combats, more combats than I would expect. We have the cruiser and fighter going against this destroyer in Sea Zone 92, and then if they succeed, they'll obviously offload that 1 infantry to take Gibraltar. That'll be a big bonus for them. And if they succeed in destroying that destroyer and this one, that's another bonus, which will bring them to having a bonus of 10. So Adrian's banking on his dice, doing him good here, which they should. He's favored in both these fights. And then not only that, he's taking the infantry and artillery from Tobruk and slamming into Alexandria. And then he went ahead and took the infantry from Kenya and went to the Belgian Congo. So that kind of forces me to figure out how to deal with all that. So yeah, some really good, solid competitive moves here. Love to see it. We will roll these out. I think it's 1, 2, yeah, 3 fights to roll out, and then there was a walk-in over here. So we roll out these 3 fights and be back with them results. Okay, so he succeeded in getting his bonuses, but at what cost? I mean, he lost his cruiser here getting it, and he lost the bomber getting it as well. He lost an infantry getting it, and this was still a walk-in. Okay, that brings us to the non-combat move.
Oh, right.
Well, that was there something to do? Yeah. Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah, that's yours. You can do that. Okay. So for non-combat, the plane had to go 1, 2 to southern France. And the infantry just joined the small growing stack in southern Italy there. So there is now 3. Oh, sorry. So there's now 3 infantry there. Artillery stays, infantry stays. That's it. That's what, yeah, he's so little left. And then the 2 subs get placed in southern France. We discussed that already. So kind of a big money counting roll. Let's quickly count it up. So after some quick counting, Italy is sitting at 15 on the board because they're up 3, 4, 5. So that's 15 up from 10, and they have 2 bonuses of 5 each. They got no enemy surface warships in the Mediterranean, and they have Gibraltar, southern France, and Greece out of the 3 out of the 4, if you can, with Egypt in there as well. So if you have 3 out of those 4, then you get 5 as Italy. They don't have Egypt, but they have Greece, southern France, and Gibraltar. So that's kind of have the 3 of the 4 corners of the Mediterranean. So they get another 5 there. 25, you spent your money perfectly? Yeah, so yeah, you did, yeah. So 25 IPCs go to the the Italian coffers, and we move into the next nation. ANZAC, round 2, coming in with 17 IPCs, and we will purchase a destroyer transport combo. Those are always fun. And we will get right into the combat move. Actually, just a quick one is this before I forget. So these 2 are going to try their luck against that artillery. And then I'll pause to see what we do on this side. Okay, so the only fight was this destroyer is going 1, 2, 3, and it sank that transport over there. So we're going to quickly roll out that fight, and then I'll get to the non-combat. So that went terribly. We lost both our guys there, just desperately trying to knock that artillery out of Alexandria, and we failed. Sorry, Britain. And obviously succeeded with the transport, and then we just moved up our purchase from last turn here, and we dropped ourselves off in Dutch New Guinea for that 5 bonus. That'll be nice. And we placed our purchase. We leave our turn with 15 IPCs to our name, and we move into the next nation. France, round 2. As I look at this, I'm really only seeing 1 combat, and that is to take this fighter and go 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then 5 land here. So then that goes away. And then for non-combat, I think we kind of just build ourselves up in Algeria, but the 1 guy goes to Morocco. This guy comes this way. This guy goes that way. And yeah, I think that's actually just it. I don't even, maybe this destroyer comes there. I think that might be it then. Yeah, we'll just put that destroyer there for now. That's it. All right. That concludes round 2. Let's slide into round 3. Germany, round 3 with 55 IPCs. I'm just looking up, oh, sorry, 1 second here. I'm just looking at this. I just realized this sub is, thinking to myself, where in the heck is that sub? With 55 IPCs, actually, I think politics happens first, or maybe the purchase happens first. Either way, we will do 55 IPCs is 8 tanks, an infantry, and an artillery. That is the purchase. All right, now a declaration of war. Okay, I think that everyone is at war now, except for the Soviet Union and Japan. Okay, war declared. So we'll see what the combat move looks like. Let's get to it. No, let's actually set up here, do that. And this is how they look. Let's get a closer look. So over here we have the sub moving against my sub. That is obviously just going to be me submerging. The real reason this happens is because that involves a Russian bonus that I won't get on the Russian turn now, because I don't have a destroyer to deal with that. Now we have a sub, a fighter, attack bomber, and 2 strat bombers going against that Russian cruiser. And yeah, that'll go historically accurate, I'm sure of it. We have a guy stepping off of Finland into Karelia and a guy stepping off of Finland into Vyborg. We have a guy stepping off of Poland into the Baltic states, and then the artillery stepping in, and then his stack will move under him. And then a guy stepping from Romania into Bessarabia. So these are all takes. So Germany goes up 3 there. I think that's really it, right? So the only dice to be rolled is this naval combat here. That's it. Okay, yeah, we'll roll that. Yeah, we'll just roll that on camera. Just roll what you got there, Adrian. See how this gimbal works. There we go. Getting 1 hit. And can I knock out? Wait, did the 2 hit? If the 2 hit, I don't get to roll back. I don't think it did. We're reviewing the footage. Pause. Okay, forgive our pitiful memories. It totally hit. We just reviewed the footage. Okay, I don't even get to roll back. So yeah, there's nothing for me to do but sit back, pull off my guy, and relax as Adrian executes the German non-combat move. Okay, so for non-combat, we have a big stack from Poland moving into eastern Poland. It looks to me like 14 infantry and 9 artillery and 10 tanks in eastern Poland. And then it looks like a further oh geez, well, I should be looking at the camera, not at the board. So it looks like a further 13 infantry and 2 artillery in Bessarabia. And then there's 9 tanks and 4 mech in Romania behind them, ready to do a punch into any general direction. The infantry that was in Greece has moved up into Bulgaria. Very many planes have landed in, well, very many. When I say very many, I mean 3 fighters and 3 attack bombers have landed in Western Germany. The strat bombers have landed in France. There's an anti-aircraft gun and an artillery that are supporting them. And the Navy is sitting strong, just the battleship cruiser. This is a unique game where the Bismarck is still alive, round 3. That's kind of cool for Germany, at least for Germany's 3rd turn. They still have a battleship. That's not so fun for me, not so fun for my D-Day stuff, but hey, we'll figure out how to deal with it as time comes. So let's count up the income and move on. Okay, after some quick counting, Germany is up by 16, so they're sitting at 46, up from 30. And they have a bonus of 5 for the Norway stuff, but no other bonuses. So they're sitting at 51 IPCs, and that'll move us into the next nation. Just one really quick thing that I'm allowing Adrian to do here. He requested that he be allowed to quickly move his navy, and I'm allowing it. He would like to put his transport. He would like to put his transport here and his cruiser and battleship down here in Seasons 105. And I said, you know what? Sure, go for it. Russia, round 3, the purchase of 37 IPCs is going to be 11 infantry. We got a 10 stack here, and the 11th guy here, and 1 mech. All right, let's get into the combat move. Okay, so for combat, I think actually I know this. The only combat will be this. We're so upset that Germany has attacked us. We take it out on Iraq. That's what we do. All right, so one more mulligan again. So Adrian was like, oh, you know, I'll put my transport here, but then Russian sub. Oh, no, okay, I'll put my transport here, but then Russian sub. So in the end, he has decided to keep it here. And then we just forgot to convoy him. So we're going to do that now really quick. We're going to grab 2 regular dice, throw them in the tray, and get no convoy, so he keeps himself at 51 IPCs. Okay, so we're going to roll out the Iraqi fight and then move into the non-combat. Okay, so I've just felt the absolute need to abandon Leningrad. It has to happen. There's too much coming, and he's building so aggressively. I have to build uber defensively. So I've amalgamated myself from Bryansk, and I've put 1 guy in Belarus. That doesn't stop Leningrad being taken, but it does stop a blitz going into Archangel and Smolensk and all these other weird shenanigans. It stops them short there, and there's no can opener for the Italians. They're not around. We took them out in Greece, the Italian tanks at least. So we don't have to worry about anything like that. So that's nice. Over here, we took this handedly, well, not handedly, we lost 2 mechs taking it, but that's why we buy that mech first turn and take it. Now we're up 5 IPCs because this is a 3 bonus for Russia. That's super nice. Oh, and I guess I have to land, these planes have to land in Northwest Persia. Okay, and that is it, really. I've already moved those guys that way. And so now that we have, I counted it up, it's 47. That's a stack of, I'll get a nice close up here. That is a stack of 47 infantry there, and 3 artillery and 4 anti-aircraft guns. And right behind them is another 10 guys coming. And then down here, we have infantry and mech coming in. Okay, after counting it all up, we are down 1, 2, 3 IPCs, bringing us to 34. But then we're up 2 IPCs, bringing us to 36. Plus a bonus of 3 brings us to, and we don't have that bonus up there, but with this bonus of 3, that brings us to 39 IPCs. 39 IPCs to Russia, and we move into the next nation. Japan, round 3, coming in with 47 IPCs, and they will be purchasing a carrier, 3 infantry, a destroyer, and 2 transports. All right, let's get into that combat move. For combats, we have a destroyer and a tactical bomber coming in there. I'm assuming they came from down here, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Pretty simple stuff there. Over in China, we have everything from Kwaichao slamming in, and then all these planes coming in as well. So it's a big fight. We have a step-in into Shenxi and a step-in into, is that Kansu? And then we have also the tank blitzing up through Shan State into Yunnan, and then an infantry and artillery and attack bomber slamming into Yunnan as well. And then we have the taking of the money aisles, so separating all these transports and taking them. And then we have a fighter stepping out and destroying this transport. I think I covered it all. All right, we'll roll it all out and be back with the results. All right, this is how it looks in China. We got no hits back here, but we got 5 hits back here. We knocked out his 5 stack of infantry, so he's only taking it with 3 artillery and a mech. I mean, there's nothing to take it back or anything. China's gone off the board, but actually I'm quite happy with that. If China's gone, Calcutta's not, and it's more important. It is a victory city, and it's worth way more for Japan to have that, so I'm happy that China's gone. They're both, I'm not saying that's a bad choice for Adrian to do that, I'm just happy with it personally. He knocked out my ANZAC destroyer here, but we killed his sub, leaving his fighter behind. He took these islands, knocked out our transport, and he won up there, no problem. The American sub is gone. I believe that is it for the combats. I think I covered them all. We move into the non-combat. After the non-combat move is said and done, this is how it looks. You got to slide this attack bomber away. You just took that. This is how it looks. So that is all going to be there now, just like that. This is all taken, amalgamated, battleship, and what am I saying? Battleship and aircraft carrier are there now. Purchase has been placed. That destroyer lived. It's there. This is still sitting here like this. And yeah, so now Japan is in the realm of what I like to call stupid money. They have stupid much money, which we're not happy with, but it is what it is. We're going to see what we can do about it later. Let's count it up and move on. Okay, counted it all up, and Japan is sitting at 62 IPCs, and they have their bonus of 5. So they will end their turn with 67 IPCs. 67 IPCs going to the Japanese coffers, and we move into the next nation. Oh, quickly mentioning, the purchase has been placed here, of course, and the 3 infantry went here, if anyone's wondering. All right, to the next nation. USA round 3. I kind of like to pan when it's America's turn because they cover both sides of the board, but the purchase is over here. With 72 IPCs, we are going to purchase for ourselves 2 bombers, a fighter, a transport, infantry, artillery, and 4 subs. All right. And I feel like this might be where America gets into, I feel like it's going to be. America has some combats. Let's get into them. So on this side of the board, we have the 2 transports carrying the artillery and 3 infantry going 1, 2, landing in Gibraltar, and the cruiser steps in as well for the offshore bombardment. So we have that. I mean, I guess I could just bring the entire fleet, but I think this is actually fine. I think we're good with this. And over on this side, we discovered a little bit of low-hanging fruit. I feel like it's a good tactical move. I just don't know if I'm going to be punished for it strategically for moving my fleet up north. That has happened in previous games, and that just it might go well, it might not, but I have the opportunity to knock out his entire naval purchase here. So my fleet here moves 1, 2 to take out his blocker, but all the planes can actually go 1, 2, 3, 4. The bomber as well is able to come all the way from the west coast and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like 6, 7 into Russia, and same as the other one can go quite a few other places yet. So we will be pretty good there. And so those are the only fights. We got 1, 2, and 3. All right, we are going to roll those out and see how they go. So over here, we took Gibraltar without any casualties, just completely knocked out that Italian guy and liberated that for the British. And over here, he unfortunately got the hit back, so we took a hit on our battleship, and he got 2 hits here. So veterans will understand that my fleet is kind of in a yucky spot, so I opted to lose the strategic bombers so that I can land these more defensive planes on the fleet. All right, now that that's done, we will get right into the non-combat move. So on this side, we have brought everything that was on the eastern coast to Morocco, and the fleet as well, just coming with it. So the guys from Brazil are in Gibraltar, everything else is in Morocco. That's really just for space sake and because Gibraltar isn't threatened. Otherwise, I would put it all there, but there's no need. Over on this side, the planes have landed, and the transports have kind of tucked tail and gone up there. And I did the fight. I'm happy with the results. I'm happy that this whole area is cleaned up, but I'm nervous that I'm going to lose that fleet. So I don't want the transports to be there dead. So I'd rather they go back, and my purchase can just be placed with them. Sorry, I keep hitting the scroll wheel on the gimbal here. So I'm just going to throw the purchase right there. And this is exactly 10 units, which means that it can all go here on the West Coast. As we talked about earlier, the West Coast is the best place for bombers to go. There. So the purchase is placed. No money has changed hands in any way, so it's still just a straight up 72 IPCs to the American coffers, and we move into the next nation. China, round 3, coming in with 12 IPCs, purchasing 4 infantry, placing 4 infantry, collecting 2 IPCs, turns over, we move on to the next nation. UK, round 3, coming in on the Europe side with 29 IPCs, and on the Pacific side with 8 IPCs, purchasing nothing here, and 2 fighters, and 3 infantry here. So now we get into the combat move. So for the combat side of things, what we have done is there was 2 infantry and 1 artillery here. The 1 infantry and 1 artillery have come down to the Belgian Congo, and the fighter has come 1, 2. The infantry and artillery that were here have come 1 with the transport and offloaded and retaken Kenya. And then the transport that was here has loaded the remaining guy from Anglo-Egyptian Sudan and has gone 1, 2, loaded the guy from Malta, 3, and offloaded the 2 infantry in Alexandria with the accompanying bomber. So the bomber has come 1, 2, and the fighter has come 1, 2. So if we get these 2 fights, then we get our bonus back. Those are the only fights on this side. Over here, we have 1 fighter coming 1, 2, and attack bomber coming 1, 2, 3. That is all she wrote for combats. So those will get swiped away, and we will roll these out. These 2 obviously went off, no problem. The fighter lands here, the attack bomber lands here. We lost a guy here and we lost a guy there, but we got it. We got what we needed. So I'll just land the planes, and then I'll actually move into the proper non-combat move phase. For non-combat, we've slipped everything down into Gibraltar, including the 2 fighters. The 2 fighters are in Gibraltar as well. And if Adrian does what I think he's going to do, you'll see why they're in Gibraltar. The planes have landed. The guy from Northwest Persia has slinked up into the Caucasus. It just makes sense for him to go there at this point in the game. The plane has landed. That plane landed. I'm actually pretty happy with where this destroyer and cruiser are. Believe it or not, that's not the worst place in the world for them to be. I think they'll actually just stay there for right now. That's how it's going to be. It's looking like Britain has all of its original territories plus 2. That puts it right at 30. With a bonus of 5 is 35 IPCs over here. We have 6 over here, plus the 8 that we kept is 14 IPCs on this side. So 35, 14, we move into, oh, wait one second. The purchases. We have 2 infantry going here, because I forgot to mention that the 1 transport that wasn't used has come 1, 2, 3. So that is why that is like that. And then, of course, we have our 2 fighters. And our 1 other guy here, he'll turn into a great ship and slide under that stack later on, because right now we got to move into the next nation. Before we get into Italy's turn, I've been an absolute fool, and Adrian is allowing me a mulligan. This is not a good spot for a fleet at all. It's kind of doing nothing. It can't reach anything really good. Far better for it to go 1, 2 into here, and Adrian has allowed that mulligan, so it has much more agency here. So thank you, Adrian, very much for that. Much appreciated. And yeah, I just quickly asked him if I could do that before he got into his turn. Do you have your purchase ready? All right. Okay, still working on the purchase. Okay, for Italy's 3rd round, 25 IPCs. Going to be 5 infantry for 15 and a fighter for 10. 25 IPCs right there. Let's get right into the combat move. The only combat Adrian is opting to do with the Italians is just take 1 sub going from France there, 1, 2, 3, and attack this French destroyer that's protecting that British transport. So we just got a little duel of the fates there in very evenly pitched match. We'll roll that out real quick and see how that ends up. Oh, the rarest of French victories. So sweet, sweet to the soul. All right, to the non-combat. For his non-combat, he has slipped the sub over 1. The fighter from southern France has gone back to the capital, and the units, the Italian units that were in France, it's 2 infantry, 3 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 anti-aircraft guns, have also moved down into southern France. I believe that's it, and he will place his purchase now. I believe we got 2 infantry and a fighter going to southern Italy, and the remaining 3 infantry going to northern Italy, if I had to guess. Yeah. Oh no, they're actually in Sicily, ha ha ha. Just kidding. All right, so Italy on the board is at 13 IPCs, no bonuses. He spent his money evenly, so 13 IPCs going to the Italian coffers, and we move into the next nation. ANZAC, round 3 with 15 IPCs, purchasing, I believe again, I purchased the exact same last time, a destroyer and a transport. All right, we will get right into the combat move. For combat, all we really have is the transport coming 1, loading up the artillery and infantry, 2, 3, offload them, and then the cruiser will join for the offshore bombardment in Java here. So that is all we have for combat. Of course, our guys over here perished earlier, so that sucks. But such is life. C'est la vie. All right, let's roll this out and see if we can't go up by 4 points. IPCs anyways. We got it. That's great. So we go up to 14 on the income tracker, plus a bonus of 5 would put us at 19 points, I believe. But for non-combat, what do we want to do here? Probably slide that up like that. I think that that's appropriate. I don't even know if we bother protecting this. I think we just kill whatever lands there, if anything lands there. I think that's just a better move. Then we place the purchase right there. That's looking pretty good. So yeah, I have all my original territory except for Malaya, so I don't get that bonus, but I do have this island bonus of 5, 14, 19 IPCs, 2 ANZAC, and we move into the next nation. France, round 3, coming in with 0 IPCs, and I don't even think we have any combats to declare. So we're just going to go right into a non-combat move phase. Move this guy like this, that way. Move this guy. Where do we want to put this guy? That's actually, you know what? Yeah, no, he'll just stay there. And these guys will also stay there. They'll also stay there, but this fighter is now in Gibraltar. That's like the most important thing that the French can do this round, is put that fighter in Gibraltar, ending the 3rd round of the game, bringing us into not only the next round, but also, not only the next nation, but also the next round. Germany, round 4, coming in with, do you remember how many IPCs? Give us a sec. Okay, forgive our forgetfulness. 51 IPCs to the German that they have to spend. So with that, they're going to spend 7. They're going to spend it on 7 infantry, 2 artillery, a fighter, and a bomber. All right, so that brings us into the combat move. All right, we tried to do the whole put the phone on the camera on the tripod thing so that it does the whole camera sit still and the pieces move, but I put it right in Adrian's way. So apologize for that, I had to move it. So what we have going on here is a guy stepping out of Bessarabia into Ukraine, and artillery stepping off the stack in eastern Poland into western Ukraine, a guy from Baltic states and a guy from eastern Poland stepping into Belarus with a supporting tactical bomber that came from over here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then can land backwards in eastern Poland safely there. And then a guy from Vyborg stepping into Leningrad. Over here on this side of the map, we have the famous bombing of Gibraltar, the naval base happening. So we got the 2 bombers have come 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they can go 5, 6, 7 if they so choose. So there you have it. Those are the combat moves. There's nothing to roll out here. Those are just walk-ins. So now what I'm going to do is use the intercept rule, and I'm going to throw my 3 fighters up in the sky, adding their weight against these bombers. So that's what we're going to attempt, and we'll see how this goes. Boy, do I wish I had thrown them on camera, but there's the result right there. So my 3 fighters have thrown and my 2 anti-aircraft guns through. We got both hits. No bombs go off, and those 2 bombers leave this planet and go directly into the Shadow Realm. That is incredible. 24 IPC loss for the Germans, coming at 0 loss for the Allies. That's the best that's ever gone for me. All right, with that done, we move right into the non-combat move. Silly us. We said they were all walk-ins. They're not all walk-ins. We have a fight that we do need to roll out right here, so we will roll that out. For non-combats, we have the 6 guys from Karelia moving down to Leningrad. That guy stays put. The tactical bomber lands here. The 8 tanks from the previous purchase come to eastern Poland from Germany. Everything that was in eastern Poland has gone to western Ukraine. Everything from Bessarabia has gone into Ukraine. We have 10 tanks and 4 mechs from Romania also bolstering the support here. So we have a split force of Germans here facing down a massive Russian stack. That's how it looks over there. Over here, we got the 1 infantry from Bulgaria moving to Yugoslavia. We have the tactical bomber fleeing from southern Italy, going 1, 2 up there, creating quite the Luftwaffe in western Germany. We got 3 fighters and 3 attack bombers there. We have the cruiser and battleship joining the submarine up here as well. He has to completely rethink his western strategy now that the Americans will get full range of this naval base because it's not damaged, and America goes next in this theater, over here anyways, before Britain could fix it. So that would have impeded America, but now America is completely unimpeded. It can go right into the Mediterranean. It can go right far north. It's got a lot more agency now. So that being said, I think we will, I'll get Adrian to place the purchase and I'll count up just how much money he has. Okay, new units have been placed. We got 2 artillery and 7 infantry going there, and the bomber goes to Paris. Is that correct? Oh, because another fighter went there, right? Yes, of course, of course. All right, so bomber here, and then 9 land units and a fighter in Western Germany. And that is it. 53 IPCs going to Germany, but they have a bonus for Leningrad and a bonus for Scandinavia. So it's actually 63 IPCs to them. And we move into the next nation. Russia, coming into its fourth round with 39 IPCs. And for purchase, I think we're going to go with this. It's going to be 10 infantry, and then 11 infantry and a tank. So we got 10 over here for Russia and then this over here for Stalingrad. So let's get into the combat move. Sorry about that. Hit the gimbal. There is only one combat, and that's going to be all of these infantry and the 3 artillery and the mech and all the planes slamming into Ukraine after all. This might be suicide, this might backfire terribly, but I feel like this is what we're going to do this game. We're going to give this a try. I'm going to take a moment to double deliberate it, but I'm leaning towards this. Okay, we have decided to go through with it. So I got all my infantry here. 2 of them are here with the mech infantry being bolstered by the artillery. It's so hard to see the Russian units on here, but I got another 3 fighters here that have come from Northwest Persia and attack bomber. So this is what I have. That's what Adrian has. We're going to roll it out. So the battle is over. I am left with 19 infantry there, the 3 artillery and the mech. These planes have 1 movement point left. They must go to Rostov. I mean, they can legally land in Bryansk, but strategically they cannot. And then the anti-aircraft gun has to come this way. And yeah, I'll be moving those guys. So yeah, that was a win. We go up 2 IPCs for that. And let's get into the non-combats. Okay, so for non-combats, the planes land in Rostov. Oh, you know what? No, we do need to have a blocker because his tanks can just go 1, 2 and annihilate my tanks. My planes, I mean. Yeah, okay, I guess we do need that. That's okay, we'll just take the one guy from main Russia and put him in Bryansk. That's fine. And then, of course, these guys, the long, slow march west. That sits tight. That sits tight. Off camera, I just rolled, because I just remembered. I just rolled for the convoy there, and I got it. So Germany, and I got the full convoy. So Germany has gone down from 63 IPCs down to 60 for its next purchase. That's huge. Yeah, put that guy there. We're going to place 10 more guys on top of those 9. So there'll be a stack of 19 guys there. We moved this guy up. We moved one of the 2 tanks, 1, 2, and we moved the other tank and mech down here. So our next turn, we can just start mining these territories, and that'll be really fun. Okay, we will place our purchase and collect income. Okay, infantry and tank placed here, 10 guys placed there. We are sitting at 29 on the board, plus 3 for Iraq. Brings us to 31 IPCs, and we slide right into the next nation. Whoops, totally miscounted. We are sitting at not 29, but because of this, we're sitting at 31. Plus 3 is 34 IPCs for Russia. 34 IPCs into the next nation. Japan, round 4 with 60, whoops, sorry, with the zoom again, with 67 IPCs. They are going to purchase 2 carriers, 2 destroyers, 3 subs, and 1 artillery. This is actually 66 IPCs, so keeping 1 IPC. All right, let's get into the combat move. For combat, we have 1 infantry, and a mech going up into, I believe it's camp, so whatever that territory is, and then we got a plethora of tactical bombers going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 or 5 exactly going, yeah, landing there. And now over here we have the battleship has come down from here, and the transport has picked up the guy that was beside, picked up this guy, come here, offloaded. 2 fighters have come 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they'll have to land in this sea zone, so this carrier has to be on standby to pick them up. There's no offshore bombardment, because they have to sink this cruiser first. The battleship is fighting the cruiser with a fighter and tactical bomber escort. And then the whole fleet that was here has come 1, 2, 3, and is attacking the American fleet. Funny enough, this is probably the first time I've ever put the battle board where the battle is actually taking place. Kind of just Funny how it worked out that way. I, of course, have my damaged battleship from the previous turn there. This is highly favored for him. The reason he can bring so many fighters here is they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, because they're right on the C zone, and then 5, and land on the purchased carriers. And the 2 bombers are in the fight as well. They were able to make it from here thanks to this air base. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are the fights, and they will now be rolled out. So let's see how it goes. So I'll just say some weird fights happened. Adrian rolled all of this, missed, and then I got 1 hit, and then he rolled it all again and only got 3 hits, and then I missed all 4, and then I missed again. So I got to roll 9 at 2 with those 4 guys and only got 1 hit. Here, this might be statistical how this went. I mean, he completely wiped me out. But he lost a lot. I mean, out of his 6 fighters, there's only 2 left, and lost his subs and destroyers, and everything's damaged there. Those planes will have to land. Down here, super interesting. So the cruiser and transport just died, but he completely failed to take back Java, and that's huge for us. He's going to be missing out on upwards of 9 IPCs, because the island's worth 4, and if he had it, that'd be a bonus of 5. So this is big news for us. He's down 9 IPCs because of that, and that's no small amount. That's not nothing. All right. Yeah, again, just really weird here. I mean, he rolled 2 at 1 and 2 at 3, completely whiffed, and then I rolled back and completely whiffed, and then he whiffed again, and then I got both hits. So that's just weird rolling. But okay, on to the non-combats. So for the China side, we've got the planes land here, and all infantry and land units kind of amalgamate here. So the remaining 2 artillery come here. Everything just kind of piles in here. Oh, he didn't take Burma. That might have been an oversight on his part. I don't know. He's got 3 infantry here, fighter, attack bomber. The transport ship that was here has come 1, 2, 3, and is now sitting here, ready and poised to take or move in whichever way it needs to move. The planes had to leave Java they retreated there, so they left, and now they are on this carrier. The carrier is forced to come here and pick them up for their last movement point. And over here, the remaining 2 fighters have to go here with their last movement point to be caught by the carriers that are incoming. And then, of course, the bombers had to land here or here. So, or Korea, I guess, is also an option. But yeah, that is, obviously, he's landing there. So that is it for the non-combat. We'll get Adrian to place his purchase, and I will count up just how much money Japan is making. Okay, the carrier goes here and picks up the 2 fighters that would have crashed if it hadn't gone there, plus the 2 subs, 2 destroyers, carrier, sub, and artillery. It's all been placed, counted everything up. Japan is sitting on exactly 60 IPCs. So still a mountain of wealth, but you know, if they had this, they would be 69. So I'm super grateful right now that this ended up the way it did. Yeah, purchase placed, income collected. We move on to the next nation. USA round 4, coming in with 72 IPCs, 2 carriers, destroyer, 3 fighters. That equals exactly 70. We'll be keeping 2 IPCs. And we will get right into the combat move. And before I do the combat move, this is how it looks on this side of the board right now. So on this side, there's not really any fights, come to realize. I mean, I could take these 2 bombers. I played it out of my head multiple times. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The issue is they very likely die the first roll, and I would be relying on them getting 2 hits to take out just 1 capital ship, because he has a cruiser to, like, if that cruiser wasn't there, probably for sure. Yeah, I send the bombers in and try and knock out 2 carriers or a carrier and a battleship. The issue is that darn cruiser is there. So that's probably why we're just going to not do that and save it for later. And so this side will all be non-combat. But over here, thanks to the shenanigans of anti-aircraft guns and fighters intercepting and those German bombers being gone, we get to slam everything into Italy. It's really fun. And we've built up a huge land force here because of our guys from Brazil. We have 16 land units here. Does that even make sense? 16 land units feels wrong. No, yeah, it's 3. Oh, it's 14. 14 land units. That makes more sense. Okay, because that is 7 transports, so it should be 14. That's, yeah. 14 land units slamming in against 2 anti-aircraft guns, 5 infantry, and 2 fighters. Unless, of course, he wants to scramble, but I mean, he would have to, the 2 fighters would have to win against a carrier, 2 destroyers, 2 fighters, and a cruiser. So I imagine Adrian will probably just try and hunker down and pray that the capital holds, or that it falls with only like me having 1 or 2 land units left, so he can just knock it out. But that is it. I think that's just looking about, that'll be our only combat. We'll roll this out and see if a capital has fallen today. And before we roll it out, just one quick clarification note. There is an Italian sub right here. We have elected not to attack that sub in favor of the cruiser getting an offshore bombardment. So just in case anyone's wondering, that's why this sub is hidden here. So battle, total success, we're left with 7 land units, 2 infantry, an artillery, 3 mechs, and a tank. And we take the 13 IPCs that Italy had to offer, and we move into the non-combat phase. So over on the western side of the map, there is actually no non-combats, because everything over there that can move did move and took what it should take. So on this side, this all actually has to stay here. There's nowhere it can go that's safe. It can't even go here and be safe because there's nothing escorting it, and I have plans for the other stuff. So if these transports go 1, 2, pick up these guys, and go 3, just to get closer to anything important, these bombers will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they can go 6, 7 to the Marshall Islands. So I can't even really bring them here, just because I don't have anything with which I can protect them. Really unfortunate. So the fighter has landed here, and those 2 bombers, instead of doing any sort of weird shenanigans, have come here, where they just have way more agency, way more control. They project power on the side of the map. All right, so that's done. We'll place the purchase and collect income. Okay, the purchase has been placed, but I did notice that for my non-combat, the transports can't move here, but the subs can move there safely. Now, we did a little bit of calculation. I move up from 52 to 53 because southern Italy is worth 3. So that brings me to 55 IPCs, plus the 20 in bonuses is 75, plus the 2 that I kept is 77, plus the 13 I stole from Italy is 90. 90 IPCs going in for America's 5th purchase, and we move into the next, the next nation. All right. UK, round 4. We blipped over China. They have 2 IPCs, they keep 2 IPCs, they can't do anything. Over on this side of the UK, we have 14 IPCs. We're going to grab ourselves 2 subs for 12 and keep 2 IPCs. Over on this side of the board, we have 35 IPCs. We're going to spend it evenly on a transport, a carrier, and a minor factory. That'll do. That'll do. Let's get right into the combat move. So for combat, we take the man and artillery and the whole fleet. 1, 2. We attack the sub and we offload the infantry and the artillery in northern Italy, replacing the major factory for a minor, because there was no resistance in northern Italy, so it's ours. We also go ahead and load up the guy on this transport and go and we grab Greece for free as well. Those are the only fights over here. They're all walk-ins except for the sub. We have to sink that thing promptly. Shouldn't be an issue. Then over here, we're doing something a little bit spicy. We're stealing away the 2 fighters, going 1, 2, 3, and the TAC bomber that was here in Northern Australia, and we are slamming that right into this fleet. Now you might be saying, Josh, that's suicide, but you forget. ANZAC has a round before Japan does. So we'll see what comes of this. That's we'll call it just to try and soften them up a little at the expense of the Royal Pacific Air Force. Those are the only fights, so we will roll those out promptly and move on. We took out the sub, no issues there, not even a hit back, and we successfully flipped the battleship and took out a fighter. So that's a big win. We lost the 3 planes, but trust me, this is a big win because now when I slam in with 3 destroyers and 3 fighters with ANZAC, that'll likely completely wipe that out. So that'll be very, very nice. Let's move into the non-combat phase. Okay, for non-combat, we had a fighter here. 1, 2, 3. It would have gone here, but we never did take Eastern Persia, so just 1, 2, 3, and next round it'll be there. We had the 1 infantry in the Caucasus has gone protecting the Russian Air Force, I suppose. This 1 artillery that was here from retaking it from the last round has now moved here to Kenya. It'll get picked up by this transport that we bought here. And this carrier can go here as well. That's the purchase, and these guys can go here. That's a purchase. And so we had like 2 infantry here and a transport, and we had a transport here with an infantry and artillery. Those have all gone either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, and have offloaded here in West India. So that's why I didn't feel the need to purchase land units, because we're not under threat. I'd rather have some more offensive power, and the land units are coming in anyways. We have taken that, and then the 2 fighters that were here have landed on the carrier, and the 2 fighters that were in Britain have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and landed in southern Italy. So this fleet is very, very heavily protected now from the Luftwaffe. Any Luftwaffe shenanigans that they want to pull, they can try, but highly unlikely they'll succeed and get through the bulk of this fleet. There's a lot of meat there to get through. Yeah, is that it? I think that's it. So all that's left to do is to figure out where to place this. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, I'll give it some deliberation. All right, so after the deliberation, it makes way more sense to put it in Egypt. I have transports and fleet around here that can come and ferry guys across. So that's, I think it's just the smarter move for now. I counted it all up. If I counted it right, I am sitting on 36. I'm sitting at 36 on the board, plus the 5 bonus of having all original territory is 41 on this side. Over here, we only got 6, but we kept 2, so 8. 8 IPCs to the Pacific, 41 to the Europe side, and we slide into the next nation. Get right in there. There we go. Italy, round 4, coming in with nothing. They don't even have their homeland anymore. It's completely taken away. All they got left is Sicily. Yeah. So they have 5 infantry, 2 artillery, and 2 anti-aircraft guns in southern France. That's the only units they have on the board. So let's see what Adrian does with them for their combat move. So 5 infantry and 2 artillery attacking the 1 infantry and 1 artillery in northern Italy. Let's roll that out. So he completely wiped me out, and we got no hits back, and then the anti-aircraft guns move in. So northern Italy is back in Italian hands, and that's it. Nothing else to be said. We move into the next nation. ANZAC, round 4. With 19 IPCs, we will spend it evenly and purchase destroyer, transport, and artillery. Let's get into the combat move. As promised, we got 2 destroyers going 1, 2, and another one down here going 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, whichever way the captain felt like, and 3 fighters going 1, 2, 3. And they can go 4, 5, or 4, 5, or 4, 5, or even land in, they can even land in Java. That's better. I just realized they could all land in Java if they survive this. All right, so they're fighting a damaged battleship, a carrier, and a fighter. So let's roll this out. So this fight went swimmingly well. We got exactly 4 hits, which is what we needed, but then he threw back and got 3 hits. So all my destroyers are gone, but we're okay with that because we took out way more. I mean, we lost 24 IPCs there, but he lost 36, so that's pretty huge, losing the fighter. And that's, well, really, if you count what the British did before, he lost a lot more. The fighters land here because it's just, I mean, they might die there, but I feel like it's like he's going to have to commit heavy now to taking this because the fighters are there, and that makes me feel happy. And we placed our purchase already and just moved this transport up here. It's just got more agency here, and I've looked around, I've counted it all out. It's actually completely safe there. So that's pretty fun. I believe we're still sitting at 19 IPCs. We still have our island bonus, and we still have this. So it's just right back to 19 IPCs, and we move into the next nation. France, round 4. It's still round 4, and it's just some non-combats, and I guess this guy can just go up here just to, if he wants to throw German planes at that transport. Now he has to think twice because there's a destroyer there. And then these guys will go here, and here, and this fighter will make the last scrambler. It kind of just follows those UK fighters around wherever they go, so that's kind of cute. So yeah, Egypt consolidated, and then these guys can be picked up by friendly transports, I guess. So that's kind of useful for them. Yeah, I think that's really it. That's all she wrote for France. They're just looking forward to the days when they may see the Arc de Triomphe over here again. But that concludes round 4. Let's go to the next nation. Germany, round 5, and maybe we call it desperate measures. I don't know. I'm scared. So Germany has exactly 60 IPCs. It would have been 63, but thanks to our tough Russian sub up there, knocked it down to 60. Adrian just boldly stated he is buying 5 bombers. That's exactly 60 IPCs. I think he's going all or nothing for Moscow, I think, but we'll see. So anyways, here's the 5 bombers. Let's get into, sorry guys, let's get into the combat move. So, here's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is everything, he had an attack bomber here and 8 tanks in eastern Poland. They go through and slam into Ukraine, as well as everything that was in western Ukraine. 13 infantry, 9 artillery? Yes, yep. 9 artillery, and how many more tanks? Tony's got 10. 18, so yeah, so 10. So there were 10 tanks there, whatever. Now it's a stack of 18. All against my 3 artillery, 19 infantry, and 1 mech. So that is all slammed in there, probably very favorable for him. The infantry in Belarus has gone to Smolensk, and 1 from Leningrad has gone into Archangel. So those are the combats. There's only 1 to roll. It's a pretty big one. We will see how it goes. A pretty good fight for Adrian. He wiped out all 23 of my units, and I only got 9 hits back after the 2nd or 3rd round of combat. So I killed 9 of his 13 infantry. There's the 4 that are left over. We move into the non-combat. For non-combat, these guys have come down here. Everything has moved down here into northern Italy to just stop, and really, it's really pushing back at taking back Rome. I'm completely hemmed in here land-wise, but I'd have agency. I can move about freely. The fleet has stayed. Massive Luftwaffe, just massive German air fleet, and then the 5 bombers stacked there as well. I mean, it's looking like 4 fighters? 4 fighters, maybe? Yeah, 4 fighters and 3 TAC bombers and 6 regular bombers. So, yeah, those guys are poised to destroy anything that they... Yeah, oh, geez. It's okay, anyways. Don't get too carried away looking at that, I guess. Purchase has been placed. Germany's sitting at 53 on the board. We'll put them there promptly, plus their bonus of 10 for Norway and Leningrad. But that pesky Russian sub persists. So let's see if we can... Hey, the 3. So exactly the same as last time. Germany down from 63 to 60, and we move into the next nation. Russia, round 5. We got 34 IPCs. I'm going to use those 34 IPCs to buy maybe the first time ever in a Russian game that I've played, not 1 infantry. It's going to be 4 mechs, a tank, and 3 artillery. Okay, let's check out the combat moves. So the only fight that we need to roll is 2 guys have stepped out of the... Oh my goodness, every time. Okay, so there. That might be a bit better. Sorry for the shakiness, everyone. So there were 19 guys here. 2 have stepped out, so another 17. They've stepped out into Smolensk to take that, and the fighters and tactical bomber have come 1-2 to attack it as well. So we have that happening, and then, oh, my favorite part of this version of the game when you play Russia is when you start to collect this stuff. I believe it pays off in the end. I know some people were commenting, saying this is a trap. I don't think it's a trap. If you execute it properly, now we're making huge money. We got a bonus of 3 plus this 1, so this is 4. Another 3 makes 7, and this 5 makes 12. We're already up 12 IPCs that we wouldn't be up if we never step foot down here into the Middle East and Africa. And then turn 6, it's only going to be more for a thick turn 7 purchase. So I feel like it's the right move, and we're especially thankful that he went to Ukraine and not to Bryansk, although, maybe he was right. Maybe it would have been worse for him if he went to Bryansk. I don't know. but I feel like we maybe have a chance at getting through this unscathed. Anyways, we will roll that out and get into the non-combats. We took the territory no problem, and the planes land in Moscow. On to the non-combats. So this is how the non-combats look. We had a guy that was already in Tambov and a guy in Stalingrad. They've moved up, and the massive army, well, not so massive anymore, but the army that was in Moscow has moved down to Tambov. The tank that was in the Caucasus has moved up to Tambov. The tank that was in Stalingrad has moved up to Moscow. These 12 infantry and 2 anti-aircraft guns have come down to here. And the 6 guys that were here have moved to Vologda. Those 2 guys hold the line. The Bryansk guy holds the line. And, well, the UK guy can't move right now, but he's still holding the line. The subs stay put. The planes have already landed where they need to land. So I think we can place purchases right now. We place the purchase of 4 mechs and a tank there. And the purchase of 3 artillery right there. And that should be it for Russia's turn. I just got to quickly count up how many IPCs they collect, I guess. Okay, so after counting it all up, I'm sitting at 29 on the map. 29 is kind of meager, but when you add in a bonus of 3, 3, 3, 29 plus 9 is 38. So 38 IPCs go to the Russian coffers, and we move on to the next nation. Japan, round 5. They are entering this round with exactly 60 IPCs, and the purchase that Adrian has chosen is 3 transports, 4 subs, a bomber, and 1 infantry. We're looking at an aggressive purchase here. I love it. Very exciting. Okay, this is how they look here. They got 3 damaged capital ships there, and they got some subs and destroyers, loaded carrier, empty carrier, 2 transports, sub here. So yeah, they got all kinds of stuff they can move around. Okay, let's see that combat move. So for combat, war has been declared between Japan and Russia. He is attacked with 1 guy from Singhai into Kazakhstan, walks in for free and gets that, but it is so far away from Mongolia, the Mongolian rule stays in place. And then the only other attack is loading up 3 infantry and an artillery onto the 2 transports, going 1, 2, offloading into Java, and we got a fighter and bomber going 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if they don't die, that carrier is forced to come and pick them up. All right, so that's the only fight worth rolling. We have a walk-in and this fight. We will roll this out and see how we did. Marker placed because of its success. And voila, we have 1 fighter left. Oh, you beautiful fighter, you. That was a nail-biter of a roll. Adrian laments at this is his 2nd round not getting the bonus there. And so I am completely cackling. That's very wonderful for me. Mwahaha. Okay, on to the non-combats. One thing we did forget to mention was that his tank has blitzed in and out of Burma, and so he's gone ahead and grabbed that territory. Just forgot to mention that, just so that if you guys saw that marker there later, you wouldn't be wondering why. For non-combat, we have a consolidation of forces here and here and here. You can just see kind of how everything has landed here. What was in the fleet here has come either here or here. So we got a loaded carrier here with a destroyer and 2 subs and a loaded carrier here. The sub that started here has come 1, 2, 3 to convoy the British on their turn. Because if you'll notice, there are no destroyers around here to take that out. So that was a pretty cool play of his, and these ships have come home. So all that's left to do is mobilize the new troops and collect income. Okay, so he has gone up 2 in total from last time. He still doesn't have Java, so no bonus, but he's gone up Burma and Kazakhstan. So up from 60 to 62. Units placed are 1 infantry here and 2 transports, so that makes a fully loaded core of transports that can operate here, and the rest of the purchase of bomber, remaining transport, and the subs have all come here to Season 6. That concludes Japan's turn and allows us to slide into the next nation. USA, round 5, coming in with 90 IPCs because of our capture of Italy. Sorry for hit a chair there. For our capture of Italy in round 4. So what we are going to be purchasing is for 90 IPCs, 3 subs, 4 destroyers, and 4 fighters. All right, let's see what we got for combat moves. So the only combat that I can actually think that makes sense to do is branch 1 bomber off of here, 1, 2, 3, and sink these 2 transports. That is it. I actually don't see any other good combats that can be accomplished. So that is it for the combat move. We're going to get right into the non-combat move now. On this side of the map, we dump our fighters into Italy and we tuck tail and run. We take the whole fleet. We got an aircraft carrier and we got aircraft carrier, 2 destroyers, and a cruiser with our 7 transports right here. And we've just left everything behind and we're running away from the crazy Luftwaffe and just hoping we can keep southern Italy intact. Over on this side of the board, we have the 4 subs that were here. Gimbal doesn't want to turn. The 4 subs that were here have come 1, 2, and the bomber has landed back here again, and the fighter that was in Hawaii has landed here. And then our fleet, that just goes there, and the fleet has come down to here, and our blocker has been placed, because the next Japanese turn, these are going to get fixed, and they would come and sink this with a vengeance. We don't want that, because we have our 4 transports here fully loaded, and we can finally start affecting things in the Pacific as America, so that would be pretty nice. All right, let's mobilize our units and collect income. 3 of the 4 fighters are placed here in Italy. Remaining fighter placed on the west coast, 3 subs, 4 destroyers, and 75 IPCs collected. We're sitting at 55 plus a bonus of 20, brings us to 75, and we move into China, which has 2 IPCs, keeps 2 IPCs. Next nation. UK round 5 over here for purchase, just keeping the 8. We have 8 and we're keeping them. Over here, a lot spicier. We have 41 IPCs with which we will be purchasing 2 infantry and artillery and 3 fighters. That's exactly 40 IPCs. We keep $1. Let's move right into the combat move. So over here, there's going to be 0 combat. This is all non-combat. And over here, we take the transport, load up the infantry and artillery, go 1, 2, offload, come with the cruiser for offshore bombardment, come with the bomber for bombing. And that will be it for combat. Oh, and we step out and we grab Burma as well. So that is grabbed, that's snagged. So now at least on the next turn, no air units can land there. So that'll be nice. All right. That's it. We'll roll this out and we'll get to the non-combats. Okay, we had staggering success here. Beautifully done. Well executed, gentlemen. Let's move on to the non-combat. Okay, so the carrier that was in South Africa has come 1, 2, 3. The transport that was here went 1, picked up the artillery, 2, 3, offloaded the artillery. 1 transport came 1, 2, 3. The transport that was here went 1. Picked up the guy from Greece, picked up the guy from Malta, came up here and offloaded them. So the guys under the chip there from Greece is now underneath the guy, and the anti-aircraft gun from Malta is now also in Italy. The fleet dumped its 2 fighters. So there's now 4 British fighters, 5 American fighters, and 1 French fighter. So if he comes at this, I'm rolling 10 at 4, baby. That's great. So what we're going to quickly do is we just realized at the end of Germany's turn, we totally rolled convoy for that sub, but we did not roll convoy for this. I could possibly take away 2 IPCs away from Germany there. So what I'm going to do is roll for my 4 fighters. I had 2 British and 2 American fighters there at the end of the German turn. So we're going to just throw 4 down here. And there it is. I got the full convoy from Yugoslavia. I'm not going to roll for all the ships because that's a max of 2 convoy. So we'll quickly snag 2 IPCs away from Germany. We're trying to be very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Diligent with the convoys. So if we forget them and it's not that nation's turn yet, we'll go back and we'll do them because they're integral to the game. I put my fleet there for that purpose, so convoys should get to be rolled. So I think that's it. I mean, over here, plane landed. The plane that was in Persia went 1, 2, 3. it landed as well. Although, oh, do I want it there? I mean, it could go 2, 3 and set up to go to Italy as well. Oh, so tough. What's more important, Italy or Calcutta? Probably Calcutta, honestly. I mean, Japan is hurting, but they're not out of the fight at all. They've completely nullified China, so I think we keep it there. I think that's not a bad idea. Okay, so 8 IPCs were kept here. We'll get, speaking of convoys, we'll get Adrian to roll this now, and we'll see. We'll see how he does. It'd be super unfair if I didn't remind him. Oh, 2 out of the possible 3. Okay. So we take away 2 right away. We're sitting at 1, 2, 5, 6, 10 for these 4. Minus 2 is 8, plus the 8 we kept is 16. 16 IPCs to the Pacific, please. Adrian, over here, we kept 1 IPC. We are sitting at a cool 32, plus 5 is 37, plus the 1 that we kept is 38. 38 on this side. Oh, and I guess we should place the new units. So we have 3 fighters going there. And we have 2 infantry and an artillery going there. Very exciting. So exciting. Okay. And yeah, of course, our fleet has taken off. I think I covered it all. Oh, yes, of course. This guy has marched up from West India all the way. He started here. When 1, 2, 3, 4th turn, he is there. But guess what? He gets to stay there. He gets such a fun job guarding Rostov from the Germans. Oh, I feel bad for what will probably happen to him. Okay, that one's done. We move on to the next nation. Italy, round 5. And so all Italy has is these 6 infantry, 2 artillery, and 2 anti-aircraft guns. They don't have a fleet. They don't have an air force. So Adrian, I'll ask you right now, are these guys going to move at all, or do they just live there?
They'll stay.
They'll stay? All right. 0 IPCs, collecting 0 IPCs. We move into the next nation. ANZAC, round 5, coming in with 19 IPCs. We'll just grab 3 subs for 18 and keep a buck. That's a good fun. And we're sitting in a pretty interesting situation. We have 2 transports. We have a fighter left in Java. We can do a few respectable things here on the Money Isles. So let's get into it. For combat, it's not even really that spicy, but we just took our transport that was here. We went 1, 2, grabbed the 2 guys from Dutch New Guinea, 3, and offloaded them in the Celebes. So those are ours now. And with that being done, what I've now accomplished is taking 3 of the Money Isles while he only has 2 transports in the area. So that'll be yet another turn that he does not get that bonus. So we can slowly whittle down Japan with our shenanigans. Let's get into the non-combat move. All right, all we got for non-combat is we're abandoning Java completely. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we bring it here to this airbase to help protect everything. We brought our transport up 1, and we'll bring the artillery up 1 with it. And we have the destroyer that has come up as well. And we will place the purchase of 3 subs, and we will add up our income. For income, we have 10 plus 7 is 17. Plus a bonus of 5 for owning this. These isles here is 22, plus the 1 we kept, 23 IPCs to the Anzacian coffers. And we move into the next nation. France, round 5. All we got is, I mean, these guys can sit here. Kind of like these guys being in this general area, maybe a little bit more. So we'll do that. And then this destroyer will just slip into there. And that'll just, you know, if he tries to attack this British, this transport, he has to bring a lot because right now there's a destroyer and at least up to 3 fighters defending it. So if he wants to sink it, he has to come with all of his bombers or his whole Luftwaffe. And if he does that, then he's not attacking southern Italy. So that's kind of cool. We'll play it that way. That's kind of fun. So that's done. That's it. Those guys stay there. So this has been really, really cool. This still feels like it's absolutely anybody's game, and it's round 6. Next nation. Germany, round 6. Coming in with 58?
Yep.
58 IPCs. This is how it's looking on this side. They got the stack in Ukraine. They got a stack in northern Italy. They got a massive Luftwaffe. And with 58 IPCs, they will be purchasing 3 attack bombers, 3 tanks, an artillery, and an infantry. Let's get into the combat moves. Okay, so for combats, we have a slew of stuff happening here. There were 6 guys in Belarus and 1 guy in Archangel. 1 guy from Archangel has gone to Bryansk, and 2 have stepped out of Belarus into Smolensk. The remaining 4 Belarusian infantry go to Bryansk, followed by 9 artillery, slamming out of Ukraine into Bryansk as well. That is actually it for combats. Over here, there are 2 different combats to consider. I was a bit of a dummy, and I forgot to put a British destroyer, purchase one, and put it in 110. So if Adrian so chose, he has the option to come 1, 2, 3 with his fleet and with his bombers and try and take out this, but he's elected it's not worth the risk. And he similarly has the same feelings about this, not worth the risk. So for now, we're just building up forces, which might even be a bit scarier for me because we're on his home turf and he can get troops into this area and way more than I can. So he's going to beat me in the industrial output part of that. So we'll have to come up with some sort of schemes if we're playing the long-term fight over here. But over in this department, we got to roll these 2 fights out and come back with the results. So both fights, total smashing success for the Germans. We got no hits back. We whiffed it there. We whiffed it there. All right, on to the non-combat. For non-combat, we have a complete stepping into Bryansk. As much as can get there after the combats is there. Looks like 8 infantry, 9 artillery, 3 anti-aircraft guns, and 18 tanks. And there's also still the 3 infantry in Smolensk. And you can go ahead and land your tactical bomber, Adrian. Looks like that's the only thing that didn't. Oh, okay. And we have some... Go ahead and land that tactical bomber in Smolensk, Adrian. It has 2 movement left. We'll probably put it to Leningrad or something. Oh, Ukraine. That's cute too. Ukraine's cool. Okay, that will be it for that. And then the vast majority of the Luftwaffe has, or pretty much all of it, from West Germany has moved into Leningrad. So it looks like there is some sort of preparation happening for the big invasion. That's cool. So in lieu of that, we have a stepping out of northern Italy to some degree, still leaving 3 anti-aircraft guns. Oh, sorry guys. Still leaving 3 anti-aircraft guns. And is that 3 infantry? Oh no, 5 infantry in northern Italy. But at the same time, 4 infantry and 4 artillery have stepped out and gone into Paris. The fleet has gone into shelter. The sub is still doing its dastardly keeping of the Russians from getting $5 by having a sub up there. If anyone's wondering why that sub lives up there, it's to keep Russia from getting its $5 bonus. So on the Russian turn, I could just grab Archangel and have that bonus. That'd be me going up by 6, but alas, nay, that sub persists. I think that is it for the Germans' non-combat move. So we will get Adrian to place his purchase and we'll count up just how much we owe him for IPCs. Okay, purchase has been placed. Infantry and artillery to France. 3 tanks to Ukraine. 3 TAC bombers to... Oh, let me just get right and close to that. What is it there? You can pause and count yourself. I don't even know what he has. It's disgusting. It's so much. And we have counted it up. He is sitting at 54 on the board for IPCs. He spent his money evenly, but he collects 5 and 5 for bonus. So 64. But wait, we get to convoy for this destroyer against Yugoslavia, and we get to convoy for the Russian sub against Norway. So I'm going to throw those dice, and we'll see how we make out. 2 dice for the sub for Norway. Got it. 1 dice for the destroyer against Yugoslavia. Nope. So just -3. So 64 minus 3 is 61 IPCs going into the, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Into the German coffers, and we move into the next nation. Russia, round 6, with 38 IPCs, purchasing, get this German box out here, purchasing 10 infantry and 2 mechs. Let's get into the combat move. Upon doing all kinds of different maths in my head, I'm not going to attack anything. This land stack is actually bigger than all my land units, never mind my air power. So 1 guy steps off of here and attacks the Japanese guy with all the air power all the air units coming 1, 2, and then 3, 4 back. It's more about killing this guy than it is about taking the territory back, because in terms of making money, we will grab this mech and take Italian Somaliland. Has to stay there because he can't blitz, but the tank was able to go 1, 2 and blitz. So that actually just made us go up another 7 IPCs. So if Germany successfully takes Russia, that was a huge blunder because that's an extra 7 for them. But if they're unsuccessful in taking Russia, then it was really, really good because we're going to be even up more by IPCs. So we're going to roll out this fight and then we'll get into the non-combat. These walk-ins go off without a hitch, and we even reclaim the territory. He failed to get a hit back. Okay, let's slide everything around for the non-combat move. Okay, so the guys from Novosibirsk have come into Samara. So there's 11 guys there. The 3 artillery have stepped out. 1 guy stayed behind in Tambov. The guys from Vologda and Tambov have squished back into Russia. That's honestly it. Yeah, we have the subs don't move. They don't do anything. And yeah, there's not really much else to do. The planes landed from their fight in Kazakhstan. They went 1, 2, 3, 4 back into Russia. So with that being said, we'll place our units and collect our income. All right, 10 more guys placed here, 2 infantry placed here. It's looking really dicey, guys, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. So, with that being said, we only have 28 on the board here, but with 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 in bonuses, we are sitting at 43 IPCs going into the Russian coffers, and then we slide into the next nation. The most gracious of Adrians is allowing me a mulligan. This infantry will serve me far better in Russia, even if it means opening up his tanks, blitzing through and taking Stalingrad or Samara or whatever. It's just every last infantry will count here in Russia. So this guy will be there. Thank you, Adrian, for the mulligan. That is recompense for the start of the game with these ships. Okay, we're still on to the next nation. Japan, round 6. Coming in with 62 IPCs. 4 purchase, 6 infantry, artillery, tank, 2 subs, 2 transport ships. Super aggressive purchases, super aggressive purchases. Very exciting. Okay, let's get into the combat moves. 4 combats. We got, well, first off, those ships are fixed now. That sucks for me. 1 sub goes 1, 2, and the bomber goes 1, 2, 3 to take out that destroyer. Down here, we have transport taking 1 guy with it and taking Java back for the Empire. And then the other one comes down here with a fighter, 2 bombers, and the transport with an infantry and an artillery. And the other fighter coming from the carrier attacks the cruiser and transport with 2 subs. Over here, we have the, help me out here, the mech coming from Shenxi all the way to Kazakhstan, supported by 3 TAC bombers coming from French Indochina. They have 1 movement left. And we have a fighter stepping off that carrier and sinking the ANZACian transport. Now, did I miss anything, Adrian? Oh, yes, Burma. A guy coming out of Burma with the remaining TAC bombers to take out the 1 infantry there. I believe that is it for combats. We will roll them out and be back with the result. Combat is concluded, and boy, was it terrible for me. He took it, complete success. He took it, complete success. He took the sea zone, complete success. He took the island, complete success. We got no hits back. Devastating losses for the Allies this round, 0 losses for the Axis. Let's get into the non-combat move. Just remember to roll that one out. So we did get a hit. We took out a sub. So yeah, it's like 43, 6, something like 50 IPC loss for me, 6 for him. Very successful Japanese round. Super successful. To the non-combats. For non-combat, the fleet from 6 has come down to here, an amalgamation of resources here, a destroyer here to block the American subs from causing havoc on that fleet. So it's sitting really strong in a good spot. What else is happening? Oh, planes landed, planes landed. Yeah, it's kind of just, it looks like this. Now we're going to place the purchase and collect income, but one thing has to be mentioned. When Adrian calculated his purchase, this destroyer was in. So there's also a destroyer in the purchase, just so you're all aware. We'll let Adrian place that and we'll count up his income. Purchase placed is 2 transports and a destroyer placed here, 2 subs, 6 infantry, and what else? What else was in the buy? I can't even remember anymore. 2 subs, 6 infantry. Were these land units placed there as well? And land units and the bomber too? Is that in the purchase? No, okay, so the land units and the subs are placed. So I'm assuming that when this all came down, the 2 infantry that were there are now here, right? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that's all concluded and we can slide right into the next nation. USA round 6 with 75 IPCs, spending 74 of them on 7 artillery, 10 infantry, 1 fighter, and 1 sub. Let's get into the combat move. So I feel like I've made some mistakes in Russia and we have to make up for it as best we can. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4. And so these 5 fighters are going to slam into these 3 tanks and 1 TAC bomber, and we'll see if my 3s are better than his 3s, and I only have 1 more. So we'll see how that goes. And down here on the map, we take 1 sub off the stack of 4 and go this way, and the fighter and bomber go 1, 2, and then 1 bomber has gone 1, 2, 3, and is slamming into that transport. So yeah, it's a shame we couldn't just go 1, 2, 3 with everything and slam into that, because you know we would, and we would follow up with Britain. But we can't, because of that pesky destroyer. We're mad at it, we're destroying the destroyer. That is it for combats. So we're gonna roll these out, and we will see how they go. Over here, we made out like bandits. Over here was super rough. We got it, but we only have 1 fighter left. So the planes have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the only place they can land is Rostov. When I say they, I mean him or it. Only place they can go, but we got him. We got him, guys. Okay, on to the non-combats. For non-combat, obviously this landed here. The fleet has come up here. The transports have come up there to collect the purchase next turn. And over here, I try to pan slow so no one gets a headache watching this. We got the fighter, the 3 subs, and the 4 destroyers all come down here, getting ready for the action. We got an offloading of all the units that were in Hawaii into Queensland, as well as the fleet. The 3 fighters, the fighter and bomber have landed here. The other bomber landed here as well. These 3 subs are actually just poised to strike rather than going about and trying to convoy, where they will just die. He'll just separate his destroyers and kill them. We don't want that, so better to be poised to strike. I think that is it for the non-combats. So we can place our units. We are still sitting exactly at 55, so I know that we will just 1 sub over here this turn. And over here, we got the fighter going there. We got 3 infantry going into southern Italy. That will give us 5 infantry there. And then of course we got 7 and 7. And the beauty of purchasing on the East Coast is that we have 2 factories that touch the sea zone, so I can go 7-7. It's not a problem. Even though there's 15 units I'm placing, when you place in between those 2, it's totally fine. All right, so that's it. 75 IPCs collected. We kept 1, so 76 IPCs, and we slide right into the boop next nation. UK round 6. 16 IPCs here. We purchase 5 guys, keep a buck. Over here we have 38 IPCs. Purchase 3 guys in our destroyer and 2 fighters, and I think that means we keep a buck here as well. Let me see. 3 is 9, so that brings it down to 29. Brings it down to 9, 8. I mean, I could turn one of these into an artillery, but I don't really want to. I'd rather keep the buck. So there we go. We're keeping the buck. All right, to the combat moves. All right, for combat, we had the transport go 1, 2, load a guy, and go up, and we took advantage. I first wanted to go Western Germany and realized he dies. $5 I get, but that's it. What's far better is to go to Norway. Adrian has failed to place anyone where they can be picked up by this transport. So what's nice is we just took that bonus away for free. He could come with planes or something and kill the guy, but it doesn't matter. Norway has fallen, and it won't be got back this next round. As well, we stole a guy off and went and got Yugoslavia. I mean, he can probably get that back, but we're just messing around here. So that's what that chip is, the guy that came off. Over here, we come with one guy and all of our planes and attack this guy in Burma. So yeah, that is it. I mean, we can't really do much else. We can't attack here or there or anywhere. So yeah, that is it. We will roll those out. And when I say roll those out, I think I mean just roll this one out. And then let's not forget the guy from Rostov has liberated Ukraine. Super nice. I thought I would have to attack it on the British turn. It's super nice that that we were able to wipe them out on the American turn. That's just minty fresh for us. Okay, we can roll out this little silly fight and get into the non-combats. We were incredibly successful. So, yay. What do we do now? We go into the non-combats. Let's do it. Okay, this guy took that. The bomber, this is really cool, went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more guy in Moscow. This guy went back here. The fleet that was here went 1, 2, and the 2 subs as well. I don't want to give away any units for free. We're running away from this. The transports that were here went 1, 2, 3, and have given themselves and have brought 2 artillery and 2 infantry from oh, what's its face? Egypt for that. Oh, you know what? No, this guy has to stay because you took. Dang it. Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit. All right, that's fine. It sucks, but it's fine. We'll be okay. We'll be okay, Josh. We'll be okay. That's it on this side. The fleet has come up over here. That's all done. So, and I already slid the 5 guys into there, so that's 1 chip taller. These 3 guys. Well, now I'm wondering if they should be. Yeah, they should. These guys should still go to Egypt. That's fine. And then 2 more fighters go to UK, and another destroyer goes to the UK. So we're beefing up very well there. I know we kept a buck here and we kept a buck here. So I will add up everything and collect income. On this side, we collect 6 IPCs plus the one we kept is 7. Adrian just rolled convoy and got the full convoy. We're down to 4 IPCs over here. Boo hiss. Over here, we are collecting 37 IPCs plus our bonus of 5. 42 IPCs. I kept 1 buck. 43 IPCs. We move into the next nation. And before I even pause, Adrian, are the Italians moving or are they staying there?
I guess they might be moving.
They might be moving. Okay, we're into the next nation. Italy, round 6. Still only has 6 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 anti-aircraft guns in northern Italy. Let's see. Any combats? Oh, combat? Okay, likely going into Yugoslavia. Alrighty, going into Yugoslavia. 2 infantry and 1 artillery step out. And we'll roll that out and see how that goes. Italy wins, taking no losses. No non-combats that they want to do, and no income collected, no nothing. We move into the next nation. ANZAC, round 6, coming in with 23 IPCs, purchasing transport, fighter, submarine, and for combat, actually the only thing we're going to do is take this infantry and artillery and bring them to Java with that transport and see if we can't retake that. All right, we're going to roll that out and see how we do. Smashing success for the ANZACs on the islands. And we're going to go up here like this, place our purchase, collect 22 IPCs, and go into the next nation. Now, the one and only thing that I want to do for France round 6, yeah, this is France round 6, is take this fighter and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and block the German tanks from getting into Stalingrad. That is actually it. And now, with that being done, we will move. Pass me another D6 there, would you? Please, thank you. Thank you so much. We will move into not only the next nation, but the next round. All right, there we go. Germany, round 7, coming in with 61 IPCs, with which they will purchase 7 infantry, 1 artillery, and 3 bombers. It's exactly 61? Mm-hmm. Exactly 61. All right. Time for the combat move. For combat, we have the sub stepping out and destroying the British transport. And then we have everything going into Moscow, absolutely everything. So consists of 2 infantry at 1 with the remaining 8 at 2, 9 at 2, boosted by the 9 artillery. And then he's got 4 fighters and 18 tanks, bringing it to 22 at 3. And he's got 6 TAC bombers and 6 regular bombers, bringing it to 12 at 4. So this is dastardly, absolutely terrible. Terrible for me. I don't know how I let it get to this point. I have 40 at 2, 4 at 3, 3 at 4, 1 at 1, and 4 anti-aircraft guns. So we're going to be rolling this out, and we will see how we make out. The transport obviously goes away, and Moscow has fallen. And it has fallen with 12 tanks remaining of the Germans. So we will get to the non-combat move now. For non-combat, the remaining tactical bombers and strategic bombers have landed in Archangel and Leningrad, and all the troops have amalgamated here. That's pretty much it. The sub stays there. That sub is there. We're going to do a convoy against him right away here, and he can place his new units and collect his income. So our convoy has gone off successfully. It seems to have every single time, exactly 3 taken away. But alas, I don't know how much that matters. Germany is sitting pretty with 103 IPCs. Wham. Well, you can go ahead and place that purchase there, Adrian. So let them see where you're going to put that stuff. So it looks like we got 1 infantry and 1 artillery going there. Cool. And 3 bombers. All land units and 2 bombers placed here, and the 3rd bomber placed there. Oh, okay. Doing a change up, a switch up. All good. Everything to West Germany. Cool. Everything into West Germany. All right. Looking pretty good. 103 IPCs going to the... It was 103, yeah. 60 plus what? Russia collected 43. We gathered up that Germany's making 60 with its bonuses and with the convoys, so plus the 43 Russian dollars. Bonus of 10 for this and all that. Yeah, disgusting. Terrible. Next nation. Russia, the sad Soviet Union. The Soviet Union has fallen. But down, but not out. We only have a combat move, and there's really nothing else for us to do other than take our 15 land units and slam them into these 15 land units. That's really all we can do. The other thing we're going to do is go 1, 2, and slam into that and see what happens. See if we can just knock off 1 damage there, and then all the British fighters can finish it off. That'd be nice. Make Norway secure for even longer. Okay, let's roll this out. Utter failure here. Utter failure here. 4 German tanks remaining. Moscow is secure in the German hands. All right. No income collected. No nothing. Let me just sit here and think for a little bit. Okay, well, we made it to the beginning of the 7th round. We went deep in this game, but the victory ultimately goes to Adrian. There's no real reason to continue. I had to delete those tanks and retake Russia in order for this game to still be viable, to still keep going. I would have retaken Russia. I would have gathered 40 IPCs, and we would have started going back because he's got nothing here anymore. We would have been starting to level the playing field. I mean, he's got a lot of money to spend on round 8. That's true. We can't deny that. But he would ultimately, I don't think he'd be able to get Russia again by the end. But he got Russia. He kept Russia. And Japan is nowhere near out of the fight. Japan is still strong. Japan will probably actually get its island bonus right now. I can't really stop that. So they'll be back in it with big money. So this is just the point where we shake Adrian's hand. Well done, Adrian. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry it took us so long in the new year to get it out to you guys, but here it is. Here we are. Axis Victory G40. We'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.